What if Japan did not have one god, but millions? Not gods above the world, but gods within the wind, the stones, the rivers, and the silence between trees. This is the world of Kami. In the forgotten library, the first book opens. The girl does not speak. She rarely does. But she opens the book and steps into ancient Japan. 8 million gods. Yorozu no Kami. But this number was never meant to be counted.
So many?
In Japanese tradition, 8 million was never an exact number. It meant countless, too many to name. And Kami were not always gods, in the Western sense, not simply kings of heaven, but spirits, presences, forces hidden in everything that breathes, and even in things that do not.
Even in stones?
Yes, even in stones, in the silence around them, and in the memory they hold. To live in this world was to live among them. To understand Kami is to understand a world without separation. There was no line between the sacred and the ordinary.
No line?
No. A tree was a tree, but also something more. A river was a river, but also a presence that listened. A mountain was not just stone. It was a memory standing still.
Everything was watching?
Not watching. Witnessing. Many Western traditions imagined gods above the world, but old Japanese tradition found Kami within it, within every breath of wind, within every drop of rain, within the slow weight of stones.
So they were never alone.
No, they were never alone. And to walk through this world was to walk through a world that was never empty. Countless silences, countless presences. And so the people lived in a world that was alive before they ate. They gave thanks for the rice. Before they cut a tree, they spoke to it.
They spoke to trees?
Yes, because every tree had been there longer than any human. And in those trees lived the Kodama, spirits of the forest itself. When a tree was felled, the forest grew quieter. Not by one tree, but by one presence.
A presence?
One that would not return. The mountains had their gods too, Yama no Kami, and the seas, Watatsumi, Kami of the deep, where fishermen prayed before they cast their nets.
So they asked permission.
Yes, to take from the world was to give thanks to it. Every act, every meal, every step was a quiet conversation with a world that listened. And then there were the Kami that walked between worlds. When Emperor Jimmu, the legendary first emperor, lost his way in the mountains, the gods sent a guide. Not a man, not a god, but a crow. A crow with 3 legs.
3 legs?
Yatagarasu, the great 3-legged crow, sent by Amaterasu, the sun goddess, to lead the lost back into history. It did not speak. It did not need to. It simply showed the way. And so the emperor followed. And from that day, the 3-legged crow became a symbol of guidance, of the path that finds the lost.
Did it ever come back?
They say it does. When someone is truly lost, and perhaps it always will. The Kami did not vanish. They were never only in the past. Even today, some still bow before old trees, pray at small shrines along the road, speak softly when entering the mountains. They do not always know why, but something remembers.
The world?
Yes, the world remembers. 8 million, countless. And still, they walk beside us, And so, the first book closes.
Every story hides more than it tells.
What's the next one?
That depends.